Today we're going to be checking out 3 true OnlyFans horror stories. All right, fam, let's see what's going on.
Starting an OnlyFans was a spur-of-the-moment decision I made.
Okay.
I was unemployed, drowning in debt. This is why I cared for the money so much that I was ready to do anything for it.
Makes sense.
It was Friday night. I had put on a cute costume and was all set to go live with my OnlyFans. Suddenly, I got a DM from a client.
You can stream on OnlyFans?
If you want a quick $1,000.
Lucifer
Sign me up.
333. I clicked on the profile. Just a username I didn't recognize. No picture, no details, and I couldn't remember if I had interacted with him before. I don't usually respond to DMs, and I was busy getting ready for a live stream.
$1,000
but that
is
amount
nice,
of money got my attention.
Me too.
I asked.
Me too.
Oh, what's the request?
The reply came
It's gonna be
immediately.
something weird.
I want you to draw something.
Okay.
I stared at the message for a second.
What? You're joking.
No, I'm serious. Draw me a picture. $1,000, no joke. Trust
Well,
me.
what
I've been
am
an
I
adult
drawing for
content
$1,000?
creator
Because...
for 5 years. Honestly, I've gotten a lot over that period, but this was maybe the
Did she
weirdest
say
request
she's
I've
been
ever.
doing OnlyFans
Trust
for
me,
5 years?
I'd been an adult content creator for
adult
5 years.
content. Okay.
Honestly,
So she's
I've
on
gotten
Twitter.
a lot over that period.
She's on Twitter.
But this was maybe the weirdest request I've ever gotten.
Draw what though?
$1,000 just for some stupid drawing. This guy intrigued me.
I don't draw. I'm not an artist.
You don't need to be. I just want you to draw this. Do it, and the money will be yours.
Okay.
Fine.
What am I drawing?
What do I have to draw?
This.
He
Oh, no,
sent
it's
an
gonna be
image
something weird.
attached. I expected it to be some explicit photo, but once I opened it, I was surprised. It was a scanned image of a page from a very old book.
It's like a
big circle
pentagram.
with a pentagram inside, and a big blue eye right in the middle.
That's some
I'd
demon
never
shit.
seen anything like it.
What is this?
No answer. I waited, kept staring at the image, and then my eyes glanced up at the message chain.
And I'm drawing
at
that
the
for
promised $1,000.
Chris is drawing that.
Probably 8 streaming sessions worth of work. And
Hell
if
yeah.
this is his kink, who am I to judge?
For a
you
5
just
second
want me
little.
to draw this? Like
I'm
on
there.
paint or something?
No, on your floor with chalk.
Okay,
You
now he's
sure
getting a
this
little
isn't a joke?
weird.
No, it's not.
This is some weird demon shit.
$50 was credited to my account. This guy was a freaking trip, but he wasn't kidding.
He's all
I
about
don't have
it.
chalk.
Next
Find
to my
some
cam
chalk or
setup,
something, bro.
pushed aside random things,
Pencil.
makeup, papers, and my toys. I found a pencil.
My toys.
I looked at the hardwood floor in my apartment. No way that was going to work. Then I remembered and found my old purse on the floor in my closet, and inside it, a thick black Sharpie.
Oh, that's crazy.
I tested it on the floor. Bingo.
Sharpie
I
is
messaged him
nuts.
back.
Will a marker work?
Again, the reply was immediate.
Yes, as long as I can see it. Draw big.
Calm down, my guy.
Bro,
Horniness does strange
Sharpie
things to a
on
man.
the hardwood floor
Well,
is crazy.
fine. It wouldn't take me more than a minute.
Okay, drawing now.
I pulled up the pic he sent me on my phone and kneeled on the floor next to my
This is
bed,
crazy.
pulled aside the carpet, put the Sharpie to the hardwood, and began to draw. It showed up pretty well. I turned down the lights and took a photo of it with a flash, then sent it to Lucifer 333.
How's this?
No reply.
Huh?
No way she
Still
got
nothing.
played.
Then my phone buzzed.
$1,000.
$1,000
There you go.
credited to my account. He then replied,
Yes! You did so well!
"Bloody hell. I just made more money than I did in the last month of camming."
I'm glad you like it.
This guy was probably pleasuring himself to a circle I just drew in Sharpie on my
It's
dirty
really,
apartment floor
really
right
strange.
now, I thought. Thinking we were done, I moved to start my live stream, but then he surprised me.
Want to make 5K tonight?
Hell
What?
yeah.
You mean 3K more?
No, I mean 5K more.
Yes.
Okay, duck the live stream.
Yes. Yes, I
This
do.
guy could pay my bills for life.
I didn't know you could
Anything for
stream
you,
on OF.
Lucifer.
Awesome. I just need you to say something and videotape it.
Oh, shit.
I'm not gonna lie, this request was another
Oh,
curveball.
shit.
What do you want me to say, Daddy?
Nice.
I replied
Had
to
throw in the
spice things
daddy.
up a bit.
You know, classic. Had
Okay,
to throw in the
it was a
daddy.
shot in the dark, but a pretty substantial portion of my
Weird,
clients
bro.
like it,
Yeah, of
and I
course
kind of like it too.
Listen, if you're subbing to the OF, you need to seek help, okay? It's just weird. It's really weird.
Suddenly, a message popped up.
Really weird.
I wrinkled my brow reading it because it looked like complete nonsense.
Really weird.
Rege Satanas. Ave Satanas. Hail Satanas. Say it. Say it 3 times.
No.
I started thinking about
don't know,
this. Maybe
Bro.
this dude is into gothic stuff.
6K in one night?
People are into
Yo,
weird...
Comment down below if you would do this. Right now. Not at the end of the story. Right now. For 6K, would you do this?
things, and
'Cause I'm
this wasn't
thinking
my
about it
first
right
time
now. You know
dealing
what?
with it.
Before we
But
finish
still,
this,
something
yes,
felt off.
I'm doing this.
This
for
was
6
weird.
grand.
Another message snapped me out of it.
Please, I need it.
Another $500 credited to my account.
I'm doing it.
That's just for you. I'll give you 5K more.
I'll do it.
Man, he is desperate. I couldn't say no anymore. I started the recording and began saying the lines.
Rege Satanas, Ave Satanas, Hail Satanas. Rege Satanas, Ave Satanas, Hail Satanas.
As I got done with the third time, my night lamp exploded. The power went out and I stood in the darkness in front of my laptop.
Yeah.
A shiver ran down my spine as my room suddenly got too cold. I messaged the guy,
What is all this? What did you make me do?
but he didn't reply. My head began to feel dizzy. My stomach hurt like something was trying to come out of me. I rushed to the bathroom, but fell on the floor even before reaching it. My eyes rolled into my head, and a stroke of bile hit my throat. As I vomited, I saw in my inner vision I was floating in an infinite space filled with nothing but fire.
Bro, this is crazy.
The riding flame touched my skin and started burning it. I could smell the smoky flesh and felt excruciating pain. It was like I was thrown into an incinerator to burn alive. I wanted to scream, but instead of voice, molten lava came out of my mouth. The fire was eating me inside out.
This is insane.
Suddenly, the face of my mom flashed in front of my eyes, and I screamed.
Dear Lord, save me!
Everything went black after that. I woke up hours later on the floor. My skin had red, burnt wounds.
Holy shit.
My head was throbbing, and no matter how much I tried, I couldn't get up. Suddenly, my eyes went to the floor, and I saw a curled up piece of fleshy discharge, reeking like death.
So it wasn't like a...
What the hell came out of
wasn't
my
real.
mouth? I was beyond terrified.
This had to have been like...
I somehow got up and went to my laptop. The guy was still there and had sent me tons of messages.
Did you do it? Send me the audio clip. Where did you go? Hello? Don't you want my money?
But I had enough. I blocked him and went offline.
You did all of that work. All of that work to not get paid. But you're on a...
The next few days,
Get out
I
of here.
suffered from fever,
out of
sudden
here.
vomiting, and severe headaches.
Get out of here.
A week later, when I finally got well, I rubbed off the symbol he made me draw.
You get that back.
I also deleted the recording from my phone.
Idiot.
Not just that, I even did some research on the symbol. What I found gave me chills.
What was it?
It was a symbol to summon the dark spirits.
Nice.
Basically, the freak made me perform a satanic occult ritual in my own house without my knowledge. Those out there, storming your life through the world of the internet, I only have one thing to say to you. No matter what anyone says, learn to set boundaries in your life online, or else, God knows where will you end up.
Story number 2.
OnlyFans used to be such a popular platform. It used to be a place where models could make a lot of money by posting videos and pictures for their fans. Maybe it was still like
Bro,
this
she's
for the
full
really
on,
popular
bro.
models,
She's
but
full
not
on.
for me.
She's full on involved. Ugh.
I've used this platform for years, but never really made that much money. I was always just kind of scraping by.
Okay. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is advice from Chris. You're on a website where you're more or less probably naked, okay? Everyone can see it, okay? If you're not making, at least in my personal opinion, if you're doing OF and you're showing everything to everyone who's subscribed, if you're not making at least 10 grand a month, stop. because it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing.
Recently,
Bro,
things
she's
had gotten
making no
even
money.
worse.
My
My
cats make
subscriber
more
count
money
was
than this chick.
dwindling, and I
My
was
cats make
barely
more money
making
than she
enough to
does.
pay my bills. I had to do something to make some quick cash. And one day, a subscriber sent me a message that gave me a brilliant
What
idea.
did he say?
Why not mesh my love for horror movies with my OnlyFans account?
Oh,
I could create
Maybe I
horror
judged her.
stories that my subscribers could pay to watch. See, I'd mentioned my love for horror stories on my OnlyFans page before,
maybe I judged
and some
her
of
a
my
little bit
loyal
too,
fans
too
still
much.
knew that I loved all things horror.
Okay.
Why don't you use your love for horror to make some extra cash? It's a unique business model that you could totally cash in on. Seductive horror flicks that only your subscribers like me have access to.
I read the message
Little too
over and
clever.
over again, and it finally clicked. That's exactly what I would do. I would create horror stories for my fans to enjoy for a price. The first few films were really basic, just some scary, shaky movie shots paired with my alluring nature. But soon, I decided to up the ante and make things more interactive.
Bro.
I started filming with other people, and we would act out horror scenes from some of my subscribers' fantasies. Things were going really
Yo,
great at first.
What?
My subscribers were loving the new content,
Did you
and
see
I
what
was
she
making
just
more
did?
money than ever before.
That's what I'm talking about.
But then one day, things took a turn for the worse.
Bro,
It was
that
the day I
crazy.
received another message
That was
from the
crazy.
original subscriber who had suggested the whole
That was
idea.
crazy. He wants a cut.
Do you think I could be a part of one of your horror films? I have some great ideas.
I responded with a simple,
Sure.
not thinking much of it. I mean, what harm could it do? But little did I know that this fan had something much more sinister in mind.
Well, yeah. I mean,
We first met up at a Starbucks in my town. As I sat down at the table, I noticed the man in front of me was slightly pudgy with an unkempt beard.
looks like
He was
dad.
definitely not my type, but I didn't want to be
He
rude.
could be your dad, bro.
We talked for a bit, and he told me some of his ideas for the film.
This guy
They were
looks
all
like he's
really
some
dark and
slow ass.
twisted, and I have to admit that they did give me the chills. But that is what horror is really about, right?
I've got quite a lot of expensive camera equipment. We could use my place to film too. I'm a
No.
part-time landlord, so I've got an empty apartment that we could use.
No.
I mulled it over
Hell
for a
no.
bit. His ideas were good and his offer was tempting, but something inside me just didn't feel right.
Hell no.
I had a bad feeling about this whole thing, but I
too.
couldn't shake it. Still, I ended up saying yes. Big mistake.
Look at this guy.
We started filming that very night, and
you
things
got?
were going great at first. The dude actually had a really cool setup, and the entire process was going well, until I received a notification on my phone.
Oh no. It's from the guy.
Why are you streaming this on OnlyFans? I thought you were making a movie. I stared at the message on my phone,
He's
confused.
Streaming.
What's the matter, sweet? Is everything okay? We only have a few more scenes.
Are we streaming this, Darren?
As I stared at him, a change came over his face.
He's like, yeah.
Anger filled every crevice of his being, and he slammed his hand on the door of the apartment.
Who told you? Who told you I was streaming this?
Before I could answer, he lunged at me, and everything went black.
Damn.
I woke up tied to a chair
She
with a
kinda
bright light
thick.
shining on my face.
Kind of thick.
I squinted against the light, trying to make out where I was. It looked like I was in some sort of basement. And then I saw him. Darren. He was sitting in a chair across from me, holding my phone.
Now, the real horror movie is going to begin, my sweet. My kitten, my model. You're going to be the star of a real horror movie,
My
darling.
sweet.
I'll cut you loose now. Try to escape if you can.
He released me from the chair and I tried to run, but he was already behind me, his hand wrapping around my throat. He flung me to the ground, all the while holding his camera and pointing it at me.
he's streaming
And
this.
action.
I stumbled to my feet and ran away from him, but he was right behind me, laughing
illegal.
maniacally the whole time.
What this guy's doing? Look at
He
him.
chased me through the basement, and I could hear his heavy breathing as he ran after me. I was about to give up. I stumbled to a halt, but I heard him panting behind me, a knife in his hand as he ran with the camera in the other.
Holy shit.
Where do you think you're going? The show's just getting started.
I turned around to face him, and that's when I saw it. The glint of the knife in the light, the
He's like
madness in his
cracked.
eyes. And then he was upon me, stabbing me over and over as I screamed for help. The last thing I remember was him holding me close as I bled out,
Holy
the camera
shit.
still rolling the whole time.
So he just live streamed murder.
When I woke up, I was tied to a chair again. I felt numb all over, and my vision was blurred.
How is she still
I
alive?
could hear Darren's voice, but it sounded distant.
It's lucky I didn't get too carried away, isn't it? We still need a promo video, don't we, my sweet?
I saw Darren's sickly face in front of me, a grin spreading across his fat cheeks as he watched me. Looking down, I saw my bloodied body, roughly bandaged up in an attempt to keep me alive. He stood above me,
This is
his
crazy.
grin on his face and a camera still in his hand as he cackled in my face. And he taunted me again and again, making fun of me each time I felt myself drifting to the edge of reality. I could feel myself fading, feel myself slipping away as I complied with his demands and did everything he told me to.
Don't worry, the pain will go away soon. If you don't want me to make it worse, though, you'll do as I say.
Now, if you're watching this, it means that Darren has uploaded the video of my murder to OnlyFans. And if you're a subscriber, then you're one of the lucky ones who gets to see it.
2 questions. Maybe not 2. I don't know. Was she okay with that? Because the way she made it seem, she liked his ideas. And secondly, you never meet up with somebody like that, especially on a platform like that. And thirdly, I didn't know you could live stream on there. I didn't know that. That's a viable platform.
The world of OnlyFans has always caught my attention.
Why?
Not to consume it, but for the money that can be earned there.
A lot of money on there.
I have a lot of female friends who have OnlyFans,
Okay.
and all of them are troubled by the same things. The stalkers, the competition, and the misogyny.
Well,
That always
sign up
made me
for it.
think, what if I opened my OnlyFans?
Why not?
Being a man, I wouldn't have to put up with any of this. On the platform, men are much fewer, and the women who enter OnlyFans are usually calmer. If one of them decided to harass me, I could quietly contain her, or so I thought. My success was almost instantaneous.
Really?
Soon, I started to make a lot of money. I didn't even have to strip completely naked, but I was willing to do it.
Of course, for the right
My
price.
only regret was that I didn't do this sooner. Or at least, that was until Gabby showed up.
Uh-oh. Who's
The
Gabby?
day I met her walking down the street, and she jumped out at me. She told me her name was Gabby and that she was a big fan of mine and that she was one of the first people to send me money. I, of course, was nice to her and chatted for a while, but as I was leaving, I noticed that she kept looking at me as if she was waiting for something else to happen with that encounter. During the following days, something strange started to happen.
What?
I started receiving very violent messages from a Miss G. Some said that it was her fantasy to tie me to a bed and set me on fire. Other messages said that she wanted to beat me until she disfigured my beautiful face and then feed me to her dogs.
That's pretty crazy.
And
That's
others
pretty
said
sick, though.
she was watching me,
Not gonna lie, it's pretty sick.
always. Some of them described how I was dressed and what I did that day. Others described what was going on in the privacy of my home. This person was a stalker, and although I admit I was a little afraid of her.
Miss Gabby?
For the next few days, I walked the streets a little worried, watching for anyone who might be watching me. It wasn't many days before I saw her again.
Hey, I can't believe I ran into you again.
Cut it! Who do you think you are to send me those messages? So, you're gonna set me on fire? Are you gonna feed me to the dogs?
I don't know what you're talking about. I never wrote anything like that.
Oh, come on, Miss G. Do you think I don't have a brain? Every day you send me these messages and, oh surprise, you're the only person I come across. The only person who knows where I live. If you send me one more message, I swear you'll pay for it. Understand?
Crying, Gabby just nodded and left. At that moment, I had a lot of doubts. Maybe I shouldn't have grabbed her jacket like that. I must admit, I got very upset.
Well, yeah, I mean, anybody
I was
would
scared.
at that point.
However,
If it's
all
not
my
her,
doubts
then-
were cleared up when I saw Gabby from a distance. She was rubbing the part of her jacket I grabbed with her face with a sickly smile. When I got home, I decided this was no longer my ideal job. After taking a day to think about it, I decided to close my OnlyFans account for good. But a few hours after I did, my doorbell rang. For a moment, I thought it might be Gabby, but when I looked through the camera, it was a grandmother.
Excuse me, young man. I think I got lost. I was walking with my son and suddenly he was no longer there.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
This
that.
lady looks like a
You are
fucking
young
reptilian.
and carefree boy. May I take the liberty of asking you to accompany me to look for him? I know he's nearby.
Of course. Let me get my keys.
Before I go, could I ask you for a glass of water? I'm very shocked.
Of course. Come in. I'll get you a glass right away.
Ah, man.
I have a grandmother
She looks
her
like
age
some
too,
kinda
so I understand the desperation
lizard
of losing
person.
her. I had to help this lady. As I poured the glass of water, thinking about where to go, my thoughts were interrupted when I felt cold water on my neck. Suddenly, I began to feel dizzy and lose consciousness.
Bro.
When I turned around, Grandma was behind me with a huge smile on her face.
You shouldn't have closed your account. I'm Miss G, but you can call me Miss Granny. Nice to meet you.
After that, I fell to the floor and hit my head,
Damn, bro.
but I didn't feel anything.
I mean, why does she gotta
When
be
I
like
opened
that?
my eyes, I felt like I had slept for hours. I was still dizzy. I couldn't think clearly. What had they injected me with?
Some
I
kind
tried to
of
move my
something,
body,
bro.
but it did not react. This time, it wasn't because of the effects of the syringe, though. I was tied up on a bed.
You finally woke up.
Now she's about
You-
to set you on fire, my guy.
Doing.
I was still having trouble speaking.
I'm just living my fantasies. I told you I was going to tie you up and set you on fire. Remember?
No.
Unfortunately, I don't have dogs to throw you to. I'm not an animal lady. I'm sorry I lied to you. What I do have is a lighter and
Bro.
some alcohol.
This lady is out of her
I-
mind.
Wanna live.
Oh, don't be selfish, boy. It's enough that you closed your account without my permission.
The old woman throws some alcohol on the back of the mattress with a lighter and lights it. The fire advances very slowly. I tried to move and escape, but it was useless. My body was too weak.
Oh, are you trying to escape? That's not very polite. You know, I was going to inject you with another dose so that you don't suffer. But as I see so much energy in you, I think I won't use it.
Bro,
The fire was slowly advancing across the
I'm gonna say something completely and utterly outrageous. If this old lady just wanted some dick, then she should have just said it. Cause I don't know what this whole murder thing is for, but I banged the old lady, set on fire. Banging the old lady. Sorry.
mattress.
I'm sorry.
It was not near me, but the heat was beginning to
sorry.
reach my feet. In my last moments, I stared into Grandma's eyes, full of joy. But to my surprise, a silhouette was behind her.
Gabby?
When the lady turned
Oh my God, is that her
around,
grandma?
a knife pierced her neck. It was Gabby.
Get away from him, witch!
Without resisting, the lady just fell to
don't
the
know, dude.
floor.
I'm sorry I came into your house, but I saw everything.
This is
I
weird.
couldn't leave you alone with her.
Thank you. Please, help me.
Quickly, Gabby slashed the
I don't
knots with
trust
the
Gabby.
knife. I was free. I jumped off the bed and, still dizzy, began to crawl out.
Hey, maybe it's not as bad as you think.
What?
You don't love me the way I love you. And that won't change, even after I've saved you. I disgust you,
Gabby? No.
but I still have a chance to stay with you forever.
Oh my God.
If we both burn together, our bodies will be one.
He's gonna stab her
We
with
could
the
be
needle.
immortalized in that bed.
He's gonna stab her with that needle.
It's already decided. You'll go back to bed, but with me.
As she said this, Gabby rushed to me and tried to lift me. I had regained some strength, but not enough to escape. She started dragging me towards the burning bed. but I found one last glimmer of hope.
Stabbed her with the needle.
On my way to the bed, I grabbed the syringe from the old woman's lifeless hand and stuck it into Gabby's leg. She fell, and I began to crawl out of the house faster and faster. Behind me, Gabby refused to faint. She stood up and was limping towards my
This chick's
position
a
at great
beast.
speed. She was catching up, but when she was in front of me, she gave way and fell, and with my last effort, I escaped from the house. Neighbors came quickly to help me and pulled me away from the house that was beginning to burn. A few minutes later, the firemen arrived before the house burned to the ground. Gabby survived the fire, but with several burns and was about to face a murder and harassment trial. Even though she saved me, I will not forgive her for trying to kill me, so I plan to follow this trial to its conclusion. Who knows what she would do to me if she were to go free. For my part, I will never create an OnlyFans account again. If there's one thing I learned from this experience, it's that madness has no face, no gender, and no age. It can be behind anyone, and when you least expect it, it can catch up with you.
Those 3 stories were actually pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie. The first one was pretty crazy, the second one was but that third one, man, listen, if that old lady just wanted some, she should have just came out and said it, and then we could have avoided the whole death and house burning down thing and murder trial and all that. Could have avoided it. She could have just said, hey, I'm looking for this. If you don't give me this, then I'm gonna do this, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, I want to see this. Whatever else. I don't know. I'm just saying what I would do personally. I'd be like, hey, instead of you lighting me on fire and feeding me to your dogs, we could do this. I like to come up with a nice equal conclusion. But hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video, and if you did, don't forget to smack a like, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Comment down below what you guys thought of the video, and also comment down below what else you guys want to see on the channel. I'm bringing some reactions back because I haven't watched these in a very long time, and it's very good content for me because I enjoy making them. So as I said, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, slap a like on it. Follow me on my socials, link down below. With all that being said, my name is Chris, and of course I will catch you guys in the next one.